Hey Mixers, welcome back to another WNBA player props video. We had a full sweep yesterday on our best bets and our leans. So that means we're definitely giving out cash again today. This will be the third day in a row that we're giving out cash. So we'll jump into that in a minute. Today, I didn't have the props last night, which is why this video is coming out this morning. I went to bed early because the props weren't up. And then this morning they were up and I was looking through them and it's been taking me some time because, guys, I do not like this slate. So please bet light today. You know, there's a lot of just not a lot of good edges today. So we'll jump into a couple bets that I did find, but I'm not in love with them. So bet a little bit light today. But let's jump in and give that cash away first. All right, guys. So because of that full sweep yesterday, we had 6 qualifying commenters. And so we're going to go ahead and spin this wheel and see what pops up. And there we have it. Rex Houston is our winner for today. He commented, I like Kayla Thornton over 1.5 3-pointers made and Erica Wheeler over 1.5 3-pointers made. Hashtag in the mix. Now, those were our 2 leans, but if you saw my reply to his comment, I did let him choose those leans because they were both regular payouts when I got them. So normally you can't choose the leans for this contest, but I allowed it because, you know, they were full payouts. So I allowed it for this time. So let's jump into that full sweep recap. We had Natasha Howard under 7.5 rebounds. She only had 2. Angel Reese under 14.5 rebounds. She had 11. She was starting to scare me there towards the end of the game because, you know, she could get 6 rebounds in 4 minutes. But luckily, that last 3 minutes of the game was just absurd. Like, it was just horrible. Both teams did not play well, and I don't think a single point was scored. Obviously, the Sky were just trying to maintain their lead, so they were wasting the clock. And then Kelsey Mitchell under 19.5 points. She only had 12. She shot 3 for 13. So if she had made 3 more shots for like 6 more points or 7 more points, she might have cooked us there, but that was a good read by us. Our leans also hit. Erica Wheeler over 1.5 3-pointers. She had 2. We were just betting on her shot attempts. She'd been taking 5 to 7 shot attempts every single game, and she took 5 attempts again. So that cashed for us. And then Kayla Thornton over 1.5 3-pointers. She had 4, and the Valkyries absolutely cooked the Fever. That was insane, honestly. So that is going to bring us for a total record on the season up to 50, 28, and 2, which is a 64.1% hit rate. So we're starting to bring that percentage back up to the 70s where I want it to be. Although 60 is still pretty good. It's just 70 is like 70% hit rate, guys, is kind of like what the promos, like the Goblin line, should be hitting at, about 70%, 60 to 70. And so I want to be in that same range with my regular line best bets to show you that, you know, I'm adding some value here, because if a YouTuber is only at like 54, 55% hit rate on their regular lines, that's basically a coin flip. You could just do that yourself. You could just blindly make bets and you'd probably win 50% of the time, roughly. So I want to be, you know, at least over 60, but kind of closer to 70. So we are getting back up there towards 70 where we started the season. And so I'm excited about that. Now, I did mention earlier that I don't like today's slate, and I only have 2 best bets for you. So if you want to get in the mix for today's contest, all you have to do is comment in the hashtag in the mix and any comment. So just write whatever you want, because there's only 2 best bets today. So if those 2 best bets hit, then any commenter who is in the mix will, you know, be entered into the contest. So first we're going to go with Kelsey Plum over 24.5 PRA. She's over in 14 of 18 games. She has had a really stable year, like a pretty good year. She's over in 2 of 3 games against the Lynx. And the game where she missed, this most recent game against the Lynx, ironically was the game where Napheesa Collier did not play. And Kelsey Plum did not do as well in that game. So that's kind of interesting, because you would think it would be the opposite. She shot badly from 3 in that game. She only made 1 of her 3-pointers. And in these previous 2 games, she made 3 3-pointers. So I do think that her success in hitting this line might hinge on those 3-point shots. Is she going to sink those or not? So I think she will. I think she can sink 2, which is all we really need to go over this line. That's all she needed in that last game, was to sink 1 more 3. And the Lynx are coming off a back-to-back. I don't know how tired they're going to be. They just got embarrassed. So I think they are going to come out and try to win this game pretty hard. And I don't know if that means playing hard on defense or playing hard on offense, but I do think that they're going to play really hard. And hopefully the Sparks will rise to that and play hard as well. Our next, I wanted to also mention, I was looking at Dearica Hamby under like points and assists in this game, but then I looked at her splits, and Dearica Hamby is insane at home. Like, her splits are crazy at home. And so I didn't want to take an under on her, but I also don't feel comfortable taking an over on her against the Lynx. So you can look at that. Her points line is dropped to 14.5, and she should be able to hit that against the Lynx, 14 or 15. But I could also see her just getting 11. So I'm staying away. I'm not betting Dearica Hamby, but I was looking really closely at her. So our next best bet is in the other game. Kiki Iriefin over 7.5 rebounds. This is just her standard line. And I don't have any particular feelings, one way or the other towards this. I told you that I'm just making bets to make bets today. So bet really light. And I don't know if Shakira Austin will get the rebounds, if Kiki Iriefin will get the rebounds, or this game is so miserable that there just aren't enough rebounds to go around, because I do think this could end up being a low-scoring game, particularly if Asia doesn't play. But she's over in 11 of 19, and she's over twice against the Aces already this year. But the Mystics have had a lot of injuries. So, for instance, in some of those games, Brittany Sykes wasn't on the field for both of the Aces games that they played earlier in the year. And then Shakira Austin was also off the court in one of those games. So obviously that gave Kiki a lot more rebounds. So I don't know here. It's iffy, but I'm going to go ahead and just take a shot on her. And then I have 3 leans for you, and I'm not in love with this first one. The first lean is Jewell Loyd over 13.5 points. Now, if Asia plays, this is chalked. Okay, she's over only in 5 of 19 games with 8, and most of those were with Asia on the court. So she doesn't have a good track record here, but she is over in 2 of 3 games without Asia on the court. And they're both against, one was against the Wings, one was against the Mercury. So I wouldn't say top tier defensive teams, but these teams let her shoot 3-pointers. So are the Mystics going to let her shoot some 3-pointers? I don't know. I would like this much better at 12. And I did see it at 11.5 for a much reduced payout. So honestly, I'm going to be betting 11.5 on Jewell Loyd. I will probably take a flyer on 13.5 as well in one slip. But I've been warning you on every single slide today. Bet light. It's not a good day. And then my other 2 lanes I like a lot better. Sonia Citron over 1.5 3-pointers made. She's over in 11 of 19, over in 2 of 2 against the Aces so far this season. Keep in mind, Brittany Sykes was missing from both of those games. I don't think that matters here. I think Sonia, she posts up, on the wing and just waits for those 3-pointers. So I do think she'll get, 4 or 5 attempts here, and hopefully she can just sink 2 of those. And then this is my favorite lean, Kelsey Plum over 1.5 3-pointers. It is juiced to go over. I think I saw it at like minus 200 on one book and then minus 150 on another book. So it's juiced to go over. Obviously, she's been hitting tons of 3-pointers. That's where she gets most of her points. And the Lynx know that. But the Lynx just got lit up in the paint. So I don't know if they're going to focus more of their defensive attention on the paint and try to stop Dearica Hamby and Azure Stevens from getting those points. And then let Rickea Jackson and Kelsey Plum shoot the threes. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. It's a low line. I'm taking it. It's a low payout. But like I said, I'm betting very, very light today. So let's talk about the recap here and how I'm planning on betting this. So we have our best bets, Kelsey Plum over 24.5 PRA and Kiki Iriefin over 7.5 rebounds. I'm planning to put those 2 together in just one slip. And then I'm not going to bet the side bets like I would normally also take, like Kelsey Plum over points and Kelsey Plum over assists, in other slips. I'm not doing that today. And then the leans, Sonia Citron over 1.5 3-pointers, Kelsey Plum over 1.5 3-pointers, and then Jewell Loyd over 13.5 points. Here's what I'm going to do here. I'm probably going to take the 2 3-pointers props and put it with a Jewell Loyd reduced line prop, like 11.5, in like a 3-man. So that's what I'll do there. And then I'll take the Jewell Loyd regular line, the 13.5 points, in like a 2-man with a promo that comes out later today. So I'm only going to have probably 3 slips today, just the best bet slip, the 3 lean slip with the reduced line, and then the Jewel Lloyd with a promo. That's probably going to be it for today, guys. Just those 3, because I don't feel good about this slate. Obviously, we're coming off a great day, so it sucks to say that, but tomorrow's slate's looking better. And so we'll just like save our money for that slate, I guess. Now, today I am also going to be releasing a video on how to use my promo data, because you should not be taking all the promos, guys. When I first started betting, I was taking every single promo just thinking, oh, these are going to be good to hit at least 60% of the time, most of the time. And I lost so much money until I started realizing, hey, some apps aren't giving good promos on purpose. And they're giving you a chance. Obviously, a lowered line is always a good chance, but they're picking players who they know have a tough matchup or who they know are boom bust players. Like, you'll always see Jalen Brunson as a promo during the NBA season because he's trash. He either puts up 35 points or 11. So he just sells all the time. You're rarely going to see promos on those very, very consistent players because the apps don't want to give you some free money. So I started tracking all of the promos, and and I found some pretty surprising data, and that data is all accessible to you for free. So I'm going to do a video teaching you how to use that promo data to see if you should be betting on the promos. All right, thanks, guys.